Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rosano, and this is another episode of the world famous The University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Wednesday, March the 16th. Happy 316 day. This show will be uploaded probably around midnight of the 17th. So, bear with me. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about something that's very important. I read this book once. A long time ago, long time ago, called The Secrets, okay? Actually, it was funny. My friend, he was dating a woman, okay? And she read this book, and she was telling him about the book. And of course, as you well know, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a friend, and this friend is like, this sounds like a bunch of nonsense, I'm going to bring my other friend into these shenanigans. That's what happened to me. So my friend said, hey man, it's this book. Let's get this book and read this book together, blah, 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 blah. And so we read The Secret, and it was about positivity. It's about manifesting things. Like, if you write it out, it might come true, or if you jot this down, it could come true, And it was an interesting book, I don't really believe, I'm not 100% on board with just thinking, hey man, if I just sit here and chant 100 times a day, that things will happen. I'm a firm believer in, even in the Bible, the Bible, even in the Bible, God wants you to take action. You know what I mean? Like, God's like, hey, don't be a slave to debt. Don't. So a lot of the things in the Bible, and are about you taking action. It's like I just read to my daughter the other day about how David slayed Goliath. And nobody was stepping up to the plate, and if it was The Secret, if the people in the Bible was reading The Secret, they would be like, please, somebody beat the Goliath, you know what I mean? No, David had to go out, take some action, get his weapon out and slay the beast, slay David, but I mean slay Goliath, but it's like The Secret, and a lot of these people now like positive affirmations, positive this, positive that, but at the end of the day, you have to take action, you know what I mean? Like, you still have to take action. But the book was interesting. It was fun going back and thinking about things that happened to me as a kid, and because it was like, what made you happy as a kid, what this, that, and the other. So it was happy to reflect, and was happy to think about stuff like that. But it was an interesting book. But a lot of people these days are like, positive. But you need to have the whole scope of things. We all know. I mean, if you're an adult, and if you live in the real world, we all know that bad things happen. Let's not pretend like, hey man, bad things don't happen. They do. Like, I give you an example. I was doing this. I was writing these articles one time, when I first got started, and I was writing them, and I thought I had collected like 5 or 6 articles, and I was going to use them all, and somehow they did not get saved on my computer, And so I had 5 or 6 articles that I read and they went kaput. You know what I mean? And like it was frustrating because I was just starting. I'm like, man, I need to post these articles, blah 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 blah. You know, but it didn't quite work out. It didn't quite work out that way. You know, it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. You know, if I was just one of these positivity jerks, you know, one of these positive people, you know, I would probably would have had a meltdown. But I live in a reality world, you know. I am a person that, yes, I know I do have a positive outlook on a lot of things, but I also know, hey man, I'm grounded in reality. Like bad things are gonna happen, and that's just the way it is. And it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. And never be a victim. You know what I mean? Like the faster you figure out in this business world that you're trying to crack into, don't be a victim. You know, it's, even though you might not know a whole lot, but you know enough to get by. You know what, you've learned enough in your years of living to run a business. You know what I mean? Like there's not a one way special of doing things. There's not a right or wrong way to do things. And you have to remember that. And you just have to know, like, hey man, like things are gonna suck sometimes. Things are gonna suck some days, you know? And just like everything else, some days, because I mean, listen. I mean, who really wants to? I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but every day, the thing I would like to do most, besides spend time with my wife and my daughter, the thing I would like to do most is go fishing. You know what I mean? Like, go fishing or go play some golf. Those are my two things that I would like to do on a daily basis. If somebody said, "Hey man, here's $1 billion, go relax," I would first 2 purchases I would buy was a fishing club and golf clubs, and I'd be like, all right, I'm alternating. You know, some days I'll go fishing, some days I'll go golfing. That was it. You know, working a job, it's not bad. I mean, you know, of course we know it's a pain, and we both know that we're on the verge of, you know, you're on the verge of, you know, not on the verge. You're probably running a business. I'm running a business. And even this business, don't get me wrong, it's exciting, it's nice, it's wonderful, but that's also a headache. You know what I'm saying? Because you are it. You know what I mean? Like you are this. When you become a full-time entrepreneur, you are it. There's no falling back. There's no, hey man, I worked a little bit this week. I'm gonna get paid. You know, some days you might not get paid. Sometimes you might have to wait on a check. It just depends, and it's part of running a business. It's part of being an entrepreneur, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, because there's a lot of, and I talked about this before a long time ago. I talked about toxic positivity. You know what I mean? Like rah 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 rah, six boom bye. You know, always thinking that only good things are gonna happen. You know, like hey, like when did this start? Like when did people think only good things happen? You know, like no, bad things happen too, but it's not. Don't look at them as bad things. Just look at them as, if you just step outside of your body. Like honestly, I'm not even being. If you just step outside of your body when things happen to you, and just look at them from a neutral perspective, you know, don't think about yourself being a victim. Don't look at yourself as getting robbed and all this kind of stuff. Just step outside your body. Look at the situation and be like, what can I do better, for the next time? What can I do that's gonna be different the next time? You have to look at it. You have to think about it like that. No, don't look at things positive. Don't look at things negative. When you're doing the business, you have to remain. You don't want to be too emotional. You're trying to do a business. It's like the only person that can be emotional and become president is Donald Trump. That ain't us. You know what I mean? Like, he's emotional. He's a swinging pendulum. That's not you. That's not us. We are stoic. You know what I mean? We are like, hey, this happened, that happened. All right. I used to when I first got started doing the podcast. Once a week, I would go look and man, who's listening, blah 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 blah. I would rack my brain, beat my brain in for like 30 minutes, looking and looking and looking. And it's like, come on, man. They're either gonna download it or they're not. There's not a whole lot to that situation. And so the less I focus on who's downloading and who's listening, and the more I just focus on trying to get better, trying to improve, that's when the downloads started going up and up, And lately, the same thing. I don't look, I don't keep up, I don't keep track, I don't do any of that when it comes to the podcast. Because I know the only way that more people are going to listen is I have to get better. Like, I know I have to get better. I have to improve. We have to be more consistent. We have to improve. Like, that's what I have to do. It's not about, positive. Let me close my eyes and hope for the best. No. Look at it from a neutral perspective. What can you do to get better? There's only one element of life that you can control, ladies and gentlemen. You can't control the weather. You can't control your parents. You can't control your spouse. You can only control yourself. Okay? Keep that in mind, will you? But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Remember, yes, it's cool to be positive, but don't always think everything's going to be positive about your situation. There's going to be bumps in the road, and that's okay. Look at them. Don't look at them from a negative. Don't look at them from a positive. Look at them from a neutral perspective. Step outside your body. Look. Say, all right, this happened. What can I do to prevent it from the next time happening? What can I do to make this better? What can I do to make this situation better? This person better? Blah, 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 blah. Keep that in mind. Don't think about, if it ain't positive, I can't do it, Come on, man. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with the all-new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.